Hello, everybody, and welcome to Steinel America's Tools for the Automotive Industry micro webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in the questions window and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. Our presenter today is our National Accounts Manager for Tools, Steve Dermo. Steve?
Thanks, Jen, and welcome everybody to another webinar from Steinel. This will be a micro webinar, which means we'll try to keep it to around 20 minutes. So like Jen said, if you have any questions, feel free to answer or put them in the question bar, and we'll gladly answer them at the end of the presentation. So as you can see, tools for the automotive industry: durable, smart, efficient, and safe. For those of you who don't know who Steinel is, what we're about, Steinel is the German manufacturing company. We like to think of ourselves as the inventor's company. We think outside the box, scrutinize things that are taken for granted, and provide value-added features and functions without the added costs. With technology and invention in our veins, we think without restrictions and like to produce discoveries into intelligent products that meet the most exacting of standards. So what we're going to kind of go over in this is, about our tools is the durability, the smart, efficient, and safe way that our tools are going to help you, get things done a little quicker and more efficient. So the automotive industry, the wide array of applications in the automotive industry, and heat guns come into play in a lot of them. Obviously, here is just some of the standards. So there's repair of the interior and exterior, which kind of covers the list here: window tinting, vehicle wrapping, plastic bumper welding, paintless dent repair, dashboard repair, leather and vinyl seat repair, wire harnesses, obviously repairing and or installing them, removing decals and stickers or any unwanted adhesives from your vehicle. So basically anything that is plastic in a vehicle can be melted, can be repaired with a Steinel heat gun. Our heat guns go up to 1200 for our standard and 1300 for our high-end heat guns, 1300 degrees Fahrenheit. So what that means is you can melt that plastic without any problems. And we have all kinds of different tools and kits to outfit your application in the automotive industry. So like those slides said, high quality and durable, long-lasting heat tools. So as I mentioned, our Steinel is a German company, so everything you use from Steinel is made in Europe. We have a couple different facilities all around Europe where we do our rigorous quality testing. We have some tools that have a DC brushless 10,000-hour motor, with our standard tools being brushed motors with around 1,500 man hours on those. But all of our tools have a durable, long-lasting ceramic encapsulated heating element, which makes it a little more durable for when it does get dropped. Heat guns are, especially in the automotive industry, you're working around the car, you set it down for a minute, maybe it gets kicked or knocked over, put through a puddle of water. These tools are meant to last a long time. And with that, we give you the precision of working, with our digital models. You can go from 120 to up to 1200 with, 10-degree increments. So you can precisely get to that temperature you need. And then one of the things we also offer is all of our tools are replaceable. All the parts are replaceable. So if you accidentally drop it and break the housing, you can buy just a new housing. If the heating element goes out, which is, heating elements are kind of like tires on a car. They will eventually need to be replaced over time. So, we offer the ability to not have to buy a whole new heat gun again. You can just buy that replaceable part should you drop it or burn it or something along those lines. And then our E-Series tool, our electronic tools actually have an overheating, they're monitored for overheating so that it won't overheat should you put it too close to something, basically saving the tool and not burning it up and having to buy a whole new heat gun. Smart technology, smarter tools for what you need. We have, the heat guns, like I said, within 10-degree increments on our digital model, so you can be precisely at the temperature you need. For example, some vehicle wrapping material needs to be done at certain temperatures. So let's say it has to be done at 400 degrees. You can pinpoint that heat gun to the exact temperature and know you're not going to overheat the material, burn it, ruin it, anything like that. And even on our top end models, you can actually lock our heat guns. So if you have a worker who's maybe not as experienced, you can have that gun locked to the proper airflow and temperature, and the person can't burn the stuff he's working on. There's a couple other accessories I'm going to show you coming along that will also help in this, precise temperature applications. We have a maximum temperature with the sieve nozzle. So what that means is if you're doing wiring, we have this nozzle down here called the sieve nozzle. And in the past, it was just a reflector nozzle where air would come out of the bottom and just reflect and kind of wrap around the wiring you're doing. Whereas this sieve nozzle, instead of it coming out of just a big hole, it's coming out of all those little pinholes, which kind of creates an oven around the wire you're shrinking. So if you're getting up under a dashboard and need to, hit that wire without hitting all the other wires, you can actually lay it in this sieve nozzle, and it kind of, creates an oven and does it a little quicker for you. And also, like it says at the bottom there, we're the most specified tool in the industry. And that being said, we're in many industries and many different applications, but like the aerospace industry, all of the big aerospace manufacturers call out for Steinel heat guns because of the high quality tools. So maximum efficiency. We have all kinds of different accessories to help speed up your process, your application. Also, should you have any issues with the tools, all of our tools, like I said, field changeable stuff. We have a plug and play heated a ceramic element. And what that means is you can kind of see it down here at the bottom. Should your heat gun the element go out in it, which they will do. We have you have an extra element laying around. You pop the old one out, pop a new one in. You're back in business, and you don't have any downtime waiting to get it, send it away to get repaired, or wait for someone to buy a new one. It's a quick, easy change. And we have a field changeable power cord. So should it accidentally get cut or burnt or anything along those lines, you can have an extra one laying around. You can, a couple screws, you pop it out, pop a new one in, and you're back in business. No downtime. And one of the also nice accessories we have is we have now a 21-foot cord that you can swap out with this field changeable application, and it allows you to not have to run an extension cord off the 6-foot cord we normally has. So if you're working around a vehicle, maybe doing some window tinting or something along those lines, that long cord is going to allow the extension cord to not be rubbing on the vehicle, scratching up the paint. And then we have work free, hands free with the flex stand. And this is the flex stand right here. And basically the heat gun pops into this neck, and we have a magnetic base and a suction cup base. So it can stick to metal or it can suction cup to the side of the vehicle. So if you need to dry some paint or work hands free, this allows you to do that. And if maybe you need to set something up for a while and let that heat gun just blow on it for a while, that's where this comes in. And then, like I said, we have the programmable heat and CFM output, so the airflow output on our heat guns. And then we have a couple different devices. We have our HL scan over here and our HG scan, which I'll get into a little more detail, but that's basically an IR thermometer that reads the surface temperature for you and allows you to know exactly the right temperature to use. And then safety, of course, is paramount in every different workplace. So all of our tools are ergonomically designed to make sure you're not, hurting the worker by, some of those places they're using our heat guns all day long, and it allows the worker to not get carpal tunnel and that kind of thing. All of our tools are double insulated to prevent shock. All of our tools run quietly, so it lowers the sound pollution. So, it's not going to be something that you have to put hearing protection on because of our tools. And then we have that thermal cutout I mentioned. And what that does is if you were to put this up against some metal or something along those lines, and all that extra air is going back into the gun, instead of burning up the motor, it's going to shut itself off to save the tool for you. And then a couple other things we have for safety is we have a wire protection tube, and you see a poly protection tube here at the bottom. And this actually slips onto the nose cone of our heat guns. And you can actually touch these attachments at 1200, 1300 degrees and not burn yourself. So it's just a safety feature to prevent burns. Anyone who's used a heat gun in the past has probably burnt themselves once or twice. And this is kind of just one way to prevent that. We also now offer what we call our Fusion Afterburn tape, and this tool is no longer available, but this is a perfect example of how this Fusion Afterburn tape works. Is this nozzle would normally be scorching hot when in use, and by putting this Fusion Afterburn tape on it, you can actually keep yourself from touching it and burning yourself, or even just preventing that burn by only touching it for a second. And then some of our tools have a flashing LED light on it that indicates the tool is still hot. So as that tool heats up, you're going to see a flashing light on the back of it. And even if the tool becomes unplugged, it's got its own power source that allows you to know it's still hot. And in some applications, I've been into an aviation manufacturer where they had a deaf employee, and that employee thought it was the greatest thing ever because he wasn't going to try to take tips off or touch the tool while it was still hot. And he could clearly see that the tool was still hot, and not without it, even if it was on, he could clearly see that the tool is still hot. So it's a nice added safety feature. Say you go get a cup of coffee, you come back, if that thing's still flashing, you know it's still hot and not to touch the top of it. So getting into the tools, this is the fun part of it. As you can see, we have our good, better, and best, like most companies do, starting with the 1620, which is our entry-level gun, all the way up to the 2620, which is our 10,000 hour DC brushless motor, the 2520 and the 2620. And then you'll see below there in the best column is coming next month. We're expecting it to be available next month, the Mobile Heat 3 and 5. And these are two different models of guns, which I'll get into in a little more detail coming up. But these are our first battery operated heat guns. These allow you to be mobile away from the outlet. And so if you have to go out on a field call, this is just the tool to be there for you. It's only going to have a 25, 35-minute runtime, depending on the battery size you use. But that, for someone that's just doing some heat shrink or maybe doing a quick little repair, this is perfect for that job. It's not going to be your everyday tool, but it's more for a field application in the automotive industry. So getting into the tools, our 1620, it's our entry level, low entry gun, and basically it's a hotter gun. Which when we say that, we mean it's the closer you put it to the material, the hotter it's going to be. It's only got the two different airflow settings, a high and a low. That's going to allow you to change. But basically, it's comparable in price with a new list price of around $39 to something you can buy at the Home Depot or the big box stores. But basically, it's going to last about twice, 2-3 times as long as those guns because it is German made. It's a great quality tool, and it's just our thrifty model with not all the bells and whistles. And then you step up to our 1820, and now you're going to come into our ceramic encapsulated heating elements, the nice grip on the tool, the rubber grip, more comfort. We have a cool down setting and a high and a low on this. And then, we also offer a hanger at the top, which you can put that HL scan on. And so from this tool on, you now have a thermal cutout, and that basically allows you to not overheat the tool. And then we've obviously design these tools to be ergonomic, like I mentioned, so that you're not wearing out the worker using it all day long. And as we move along, you're going to step up in technology and quality. This is our 1920E. This is our first electronic gun. And when we say electronic, what we mean is these allow you to, this has a thermocouple in it. That allows you to put any type of nozzle on here, any type of restricting nozzle or something that's going to restrict the airflow. If you were to put something like that on a non-thermocoupled heat gun that restricts the airflow, all that extra air is going to go back into the heat gun, and we don't want that to happen. So if you're using any type of restricted nozzle, maybe doing some plastic welding, you're going to need at least the 1920 or up. Anything with an electronic heat gun that's going to have that thermocouple and not burn up that heat gun for you. So it has all the bells and whistles of those last tools, plus a few extra. It has a dial in the back, so you can go from 120 to 1150 and everything in between. There is no precise pinpoint measurement on this like there is with the digital models, but it is a great tool. The same insides as our digital models, it just has the dial in the back. So again, you have the hanger option, and also the HL scan will fit on this model as well. The HL 2020, as you can see now, we're moving into the digital model. So this basically, you have a joystick on the back of the gun. Left is going to be the cooler temperature, and to the right, the plus is going to be a higher temperature, obviously. And then on the switch, you're going to have a cool down and a high and a low. Again, your ceramic encapsulated element, the ability to put on the HL scan. This model was sold in our silver anniversary kit for quite a while, so a lot of you may have seen this model out there for a long time, but this is one of our top selling models because of the digital readout. And as you can see on top here, you'll see that light. That's basically the safety light that's going to indicate the heat indication light that's going to keep blinking as soon as that heat gun gets to temperature, and just lets you know that that heat gun is still hot even if it does get unplugged. Next is the 2320. This was our Cadillac model with our old generation, and now we've kind of got one model that's a little better than this, but this is still the #1 selling heat gun for Steinel. This is going to be your brushed motor still. You still have the ability, your ergonomic safety. You only have a cool down and an on with your switch here, but all your controls are going to be on the back of the gun. So basically, you still have your temperature adjustment, but now you can press a button and adjust your fan speed also. So you actually have about 7 or 8 different levels of CFM, which is cubic feet per minute of air. So if you're working on maybe some leather or vinyl repair and need to just pinpoint that air down to a small fine point, you're gonna, you can turn that airflow way down so you're not blasting a bigger area on that seat or dashboard or something along those lines. And then if you are doing some plastic welding on a bumper, you can turn that heat or that airflow all the way up so you're getting maximum airflow and maximum heat. So it's going to do that job a little quicker on the plastic welding. So, as you can see, it does fit the HL scan. It's going to pop on right here. And then one of the other accessories we offer for these models is our fine dust filter. And that actually pops right over the intake on the back of the gun, so that if you're working in a dusty environment or maybe working on some carbon fiber, none of those particles are going to go into the gun and short it out or dirty up the motor. So it's just going to prolong the life of your gun. And then this is our Cadillac model, if you will. This is the HG2520E. So this has our DC brushless motor, which has given us around a 10,000 hour motor lifetime. So you're going to have this gun a lot longer than any other gun on the market, because it's going to last a lot longer. It is a little bit bigger, a little more durable, because we had to get that motor in there, and it does fit some of our high industrial nozzles. But if you have the need to have a tool that's going to last a long time, and maybe have the need to control the temperature and control the heat gun, which I'll get into here in a little bit with the HG scan, this is the tool for you. So this gun goes from 120 to 1300 degrees. And everything in between. You have all the same bells and whistles of that 2320, except now it gets to 1300. And it also has the locking feature I didn't mention with the 2320, but it also has it. And what that allows you to do is, if you have a set application where you need to be at, say, 400 degrees, you can set this gun to 400 degrees, lock it, and your worker can only turn it on and off. They won't be able to adjust the temperature or airflow, and that basically is quality assurance for your job, knowing that the worker can only get to a certain temperature and not go to 1300 and burn whatever they're working on. So that's a nice safety feature, a nice feature that allows you to control your environment and control the application you're working on. And so here's a little detail about what we have coming up next month. This is our Mobile Heat 3 and Mobile Heat 5. And as you can see from the information below, these tools do get pretty hot. The Mobile Heat 3 and 5 both get up to 930 degrees Fahrenheit, which is above the norm for the other battery operated heat guns that are out on the market currently. They do not get anywhere as close to as hot. So this actually allows a few more applications to be available for us. You can do plastic welding with this. You can do obviously the window tinting and the vehicle wrapping with this, but this tool here just allows you to be mobile. And for those instances where you need to go out in the field and maybe make a repair on someone's vehicle, or maybe some window tint, but you don't want that, they don't want to come into your shop, this allows you to go out and maybe do some mobile work in the community. And for any type of instances where you don't have a generator with you, this allows you to do that. So these are coming soon. If you need any more information, we'll gladly send you some. Please reach out to us and we'll get you any information you need. And then here's the HL scan, and the next slide is going to be the HG scan. The HL scan is basically run off a 9-volt battery, and as you can see, it clips onto the top of our 1820, 1920, 2020, and 2320. Oh, pardon me. But basically, this allows you to punch in a temperature on this model here, and it'll actually read the surface temperature for you, and it will tell you if you're too hot, too cold, or right at the right temperature by changing the color of the screen. And it also has an acoustic setting that you can either keep on or turn off. That will tell you whether you're too hot or too cold. So as you can see, in the past, you had to have two different tools, a Steinel heat gun and then a IR reader, infrared thermometer. And now we've basically integrated the two, so you can have a free hand to do that. And then the HG scan, this fits on, there's two different models here, and they fit onto the HG 2520 and the HG 2620. And what this does is this actually integrates with the tool. So you set this heat, once you turn this on and you set that heat gun to say you're 400 degrees you need to be at, you're gonna, this HG Scan Pro is actually gonna read the surface temperature and control the tool for you. It's pretty amazing. So, if it's reading that leather chair right there and you need to be at 400 degrees, let's say, it's going to read that temperature. And if, say you pull away a little bit, it's going to change the heat, turn the heat up so you get to that temperature you need, or to cool it down so that it gets to the proper temperature so you don't ruin that leather or vinyl you're working on. And one of the nice things too is if it's not reading a surface temperature, it shuts the heating off on the gun. So the fan will keep blowing, but the heat will turn off, so that you're not, say it gets set down on the desk and you're not using it for extended period of time. It'll actually shut itself off, so it's not, it's going to prolong the life of that heating element inside the gun. It's a nice added feature. And then some of the other options we have for your field work is, we offer a butane line. And what this is we have some soldering irons, torches, and then what we call our ultimate butane kit. And this is available for anyone that needs to do field work, like I said, doesn't have a generator or doesn't want to lug out a generator to a job site. This is fire. So it's a lot hotter than a heat gun. It's going to get up to around 2,600 degrees, but it's a nice option for someone that doesn't have the mobile heat 3 or 5 yet, and needs to be out in the field working. The Ultimate Butane Kit is just one of our #1 selling items that we offer, and it's all of our #1 selling butane items into one kit with a couple cans of butane to get you going. And then here's some of the kits that we sell for the automotive industry. There's a few more that we couldn't put into this slide, but we have many kits. I encourage you to reach out to Steinel.net, and any one of your regional sales managers will send you samples of any of the tools I've shown you. And we gladly will get you something in your hands to try to see if it improves your application. And here's some accessories we offer. One of the things you won't see is that 21-foot power cord. We forgot to add it in here, but it is available. And just reach out to Steinel and we'll get you a sample, or let you know pricing and all that good stuff. But here's just some of the accessories that can be used for the automotive industry and many more industries. The wire protection tube down here is what I spoke about. It goes on the end of the heat gun and allows you to grab that and not burn yourself. And then obviously some of the nozzles for the different applications, the different welding rods for the different plastics. We offer it all. We can get anything you want for the automotive industry in regards to heat guns. You just have to reach out to us and we can help you find the right tool for your job. And again, here's the HG scan and our industrial guns with some of the nozzles that may help you out in the wiring and or the HG scans with the window tinting or vehicle wrapping accessories. Please reach out to any one of these email addresses here, sales or tech@steinel.net, and or visit our website, www.steinel.net, and we'll get you, there's links to all the regional managers, myself included, and we'll gladly answer any questions you may have, send you samples. We pride ourselves on letting you sample it. We believe that trying it before you buy it is the only way to go. And lastly, Steinel are the tools to get the job done. All of our tools are durable, smart, efficient, and safe. We pride ourselves on the quality of our tools. We have a less than a 1% return rate on all of our tools. So you get what you pay for. Good quality tools that are going to last a long time. So with that, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. If we have any questions, Jen, go ahead.
We have a comment. Nicely done, Steve. Can't wait for the battery operated version. And that is the only comment or question we have at this time.
Well, awesome. And thank you for the comment. We're getting ready to launch these battery operated heat guns. So please do look for the emails coming out and messages coming out about them. We will be launching that very, very, very shortly. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll gladly, get you all the information we can. So with that, thank you for your time. Again, thank you for joining us for the Tools for Automotive webinar, and have a great day.